attempt to embarrass or make Shenay and Welshie feel uneasy, I've decided I'm going to cover a couple of my favourite topics. Those happen to be winning, and there's a little bit of a hint of motorsport in here as well. I figured I'd leave the embarrassing stuff for further speakers. So to start with, we've all heard the saying, God loves a trier. I firmly believe that God loves a winner. The reason I say this is because winning is success, and God wants us to be successful and happy. To me, winning leads to feeling successful and happy. And I bet there's no one here that can tell me they didn't feel successful and happy the last time they won something.
He knows. And he just
I can tell at the ceremony that the checkered flag waved when Welshie planted his first kiss as a married man. Shenay, no doubt, has spent the morning making sure she looks like the most beautiful lady with us today. And no doubt, according to Welshie and Shenay's parents, she's also seen the checkered flag today. Oh, and the rest of you, of course. I was worried about saying that for all the girls that might look at you. Well, your partner in particular, Radford. For me, I get to host the evening celebration for two important people in my life, and I feel privileged and honoured. I've also crossed the stripe in front of the pack. Today, all of us get to celebrate this occasion with Nay and Welshie, and can feel the win in our hearts as well. You see, for me, each day, or each workday starts with a driver's briefing. And on most days, my crew at Proud the Cafe get this set up right. But there are more days than I'd like to admit where we have had to come from mid-pack or worse. And I'm screaming over the radio at them the changes that they need to make on the next pit stop. But I tell you now, when we get things turned around and start making our way back through, the thought of a potential win starts to cross my mind. And that's all the motivation that I need to give that breakfast, lunch or dinner service everything I've got. Many bridges that we cross in life can be related to a race of some kind. It seems to be the way of the world these days. For example, before a relationship can even start, Bruce covered this for me just not so long ago, a man or woman is under pressure to put their neck out. Taking that step to make your intentions clear is a daunting one. But getting the desired result can lead to one of the greatest wins of your life. If, like Welshie, you end up with her hand in marriage. So, for Shenay and Welshie, there are going to be many days ahead where the blame on setup or pit strategy is going to be an excuse for not winning on the day. Never forget the times you got it right, though, because luck and faith play a big part in the end result. Just believe that sometimes you come first, and on the odd occasion you may come last. But it's about regrouping and giving it your best shot at the next big race that will always make you winners and keep your partnership alive eternally. So my toast to all of you and to Shenay and Welshie is to making every opportunity we get a chance to win. So to winning.
White flag is surrendering.
So I'm not a real public speaker, but I'm going to give it the best shot I can.
good.
First off, I'd love to welcome you all today. Some of you have travelled from so far away, Australia, Perth, Melbourne, Europe, Wales, Taupo. We've even got one very, very, very special guest from Waikakamukau.
Colin.
I'd like to make a special mention to Mags and David, Peter and Alison, Nick, Nathan. Thank you so much for coming all this way. We truly appreciate it very much. Thank you
Like
from
we
us
did
all.
this, little sweat. How much did you pay for?
There are some people that couldn't make it, and one of them was my mum, who turned 90 last year, and she wanted to pass on her best regards. You'll see her when you go back, and she'll see lots of photos. There's two very special people Lynn and I would like to thank for today. It's Carol and Bruce. I'm sure they made you all feel very welcome in their beautiful home here in Russell. Russell has been very, very special to us all for a long time, and that's why we introduced Welshie to this place.
Beautiful one.
One moment, please.
Oh, you're in, Mike, you're in.
I'm sure you all understand that preparing a speech for your daughter today can strike many emotions. So I'm going to try and do the best I can to get through this next part. And if there's a few tears or happiness along the way, I'm sure you understand. Talking about people that are very special to you in events, it can be difficult. So as you know, on Tuesday, Warriors play Melbourne City.
Dry your eyes,
Shenay,
Pretty safe.
I'm proud to say you are my daughter. Actually, the DNA test. Mum and I are very proud of you. We love you very much. We've seen you grow from being a very caring little girl to an even more stunning young lady. As a little girl, I had to put up with curlers in my hair, playing Miss Dolly, makeup, read stories, do the latest dance moves, and that's all before bedtime. Now, I was the first one to go to sleep.
So true.
I wouldn't change a single moment.
Yeah.
Oh boy, David. Here, someone who knows what she wants. A very, very good video planner too. Take after me. Shenay was very, very headstrong. Determined and very loyal, and even from a toddler, teenager, and now a beautiful young lady. We love you and will always be here for you.
It's
Remember
not in the
Welshie?
same house.
Yeah.
No. Goes on the market next week, so we have
Remember Welshie, she loved me first.
How's it going? Yeah.
Welcome to the stand.
You haven't I know what I say about me, yeah?
I trust we have made you feel welcome in our home.
Yep.
I remember that special night here in Russell on a New Year's Eve when Welshie asked for Shenay's hand. He proposed to Shenay on that very wharf right there. He got down on one knee, and right then at that moment I had my chance to push him over. But I did it. And I'm so glad I did it. We're a good match. I have had to cook for this guy many, many times. And not once has he ever complained. Because if he had off, he would have been out. I must say that Lynn and I are overwhelmed by your passion and enthusiasm for your industry. We highly commend what you do and will support you for as long as you need us. Thank God this is the nice part of the workshop. So I do have something else a little bit later on, which I'm going to ask for some help. So I wanted to impart some wisdom as best as I could based on, I thought, our marriage.
Shut up, sit down and do it.
I wanted to say something from both of us, that we've been married 30 years and we've a couple of things along the way. I would like to pass this advice on to you if I may. Live life and learn. Live life and trust. Live life and grow. Live life and love. Live life and respect. Live life and forgive. Live life and hold.
Oh, the mic died.
Oh, Mike's died. Mike's died. Not Mike, just that one.
Oh, we need a microphone. Hey, come on, Mike.
I'll fix it for you, love.
Technology, it's a man thing.
Can we start
I do
again?
need some audience participation, okay? So will you help me?
Yeah!
Alright, so what I need you to say after 1, 2, I hope we've got some fast learners here. It's good luck. Okay, so we're going to have a practice. 1, 2.
Good luck!
Okay, so the next time you do it, I want you to look at them, and this is special, say how you feel about them. 1, 2.
Good luck!
Okay, so you should, this is mainly for Shenay because she's always asking about, I'm going to set the scene, if you've ever seen the Taken movie.
Oh my God!
There's a slight resemblance.
Have you seen Taken?
Yeah! 1, 2, and 3.
Says a very, very passionate speech
Yes.
to the kidnapper. He wants his daughter back.
Yeah.
Go, Mike.
Life just kind of changed a little bit to mean something for these guys, and it's a bit of a laugh, but here we go. Remember, you're all big players in this, and remember your part. I know who you are. I know what you want. If you're looking for inheritance, I haven't got any money. But what I do have is a group of very special friends. Friends that I've accumulated across the way. If you never let my daughter go, that will be the end of it. We will never look for you. We will never wish you. But if you do, we will look for you. We will find you. And we'll bring her back to you. Finally, I would love to ask you all to join me and toast to Mr. and Mrs. Hema.
Yeah!
Ladies and gentlemen, Welsh and Kiwis, and everyone in between, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Candace, Matron of Honour. Firstly, I'd like to thank you all for coming and celebrating with Shenay and Welshie today. I know it means a lot to them to have you all here with them and celebrate. I first met Shenay when we started our apprenticeship in Manukau. She didn't talk much to me in class. In fact, I don't even think she liked me. But it was a long drive from where I was living, and I didn't want to drive it, so I asked if I could stay the 2 weeks at her place. Surprisingly, there was a response of a yes. I think that was more Lynn's doing than Shenay's, so cheers, Lynn. Still, at her house, she still didn't talk to me, or in class, but I think I got to her, and well, here we are today. What I like the most about Shenay is she's honest and she's loyal. She'll laugh at you when you're funny and she'll tell you when you're not. She's low maintenance. You don't need to have lots of conversation with her or spend lots of money. She's just as happy to sit at home and browse Facebook and critique people that you're hating, even if it's totally unjustified. Oh my God. So Welshie, you've got yourself a good one. Now, I don't remember the first time I heard Welshie's name, but I do distinctively remember the first time I met him. Because apparently, spying on him at work while Shenay's trying to point him out from the bar doesn't count. So, I'll set the scene. It was a warm summer's night, after a late shift at work. Shenay had invited me to come out for drinks with a few of the crew from Euro. There may have been a mention of Welshie's name, but I was told to play it cool. As the night began to come to an end, Welshie invited Shenay back to his house, and as a good wing woman, I followed. A few hours later, as the sun began to rise, I decided it was time to see what was going on behind those closed doors. As I swung open the bedroom doors, I saw Shenay fall right off the bed, butt naked onto the floor. I think it's safe to say I may have interrupted. I grabbed her arm and happily joined her in her first walk of shame up Queen Street. Of course, asking all the details along the way. Little did we know that this would be the beginning of what brings us here today. One of my earliest memories with Shenay was our trip to Rarotonga. We thought we were awesome. We just turned 18, we could drink, let's go on an overseas trip. Awesome. We were. While we were there, we decided to do a pub crawl. During this, we perfected the island dance. Unknown to us, we were actually dancing the man's roll. Throughout the night, one of the locals that Shenay's dancing was attracted joined us. She must have been dancing the man's role so well that it later came to our attention that he was in fact a she.
Oh, you're in that time.
You made a hot boy, okay?
The rest of the night consisted of dancing with machine guns at the RSA and petting cats we found in the bars. Needless to say, it was a great holiday. Clearly she has moved on from dancing with he-she's and going home with strange men. Or not. Shenay, you found yourself a great man. You will always have amazing food on offer, so expect us round lots. I do believe that Welshie will keep you on your toes, even if that is chasing out those monstrous children that you're bound to have. But just in case, there are times when the two of you can't make up a decision and you come to a tie, I have a little something that may come in handy. It's a nutcracker.
Stop picking up, bro!
Now, despite that, the hardest of nuts. Welsh ones included.
I'll take that one.
There you go.
Only one way to tell.
Look at him walking.
You continue to look after your girl or she'll look after you. It's been a real honour to see the two of you grow in your relationship, from some of your first to some of the things you just do every day. I'll always treasure the memories that we have, some which we will stay memories and some that we share. You're a beautiful woman inside and out, and I can't say how proud I am of you and how thankful I am to be standing here as part of your special day. Shenay and Welshie, you two make a really awesome team, and I'm sure I'm speaking for everyone here in the room that we all wish the very best for you. I'm sure that your lives together will be long and full of lots of love, laughter, and even tears. You both bring out the best in each other, and I'm excited to practice on your future kids before having my own. So ladies, gentlemen, Welsh and Kiwis, would you please raise your glass with me and cheers to Mr. and Mrs. Hamer.
Anytime.
Did I say that right?
Not Hammer.
Just be off me. So, I'm going to say hey everyone. So, hey! And thank you all for being here today. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Rebecca, but I'm known as Becky to most that are here today. And I have known Shenay for 11 years now, and I want to cry! Oh my god! Do it!
You're all good, love.
Love you.
Oh my god, I want to cry!
You're fine, love.
Oh my god.
You can't even face the sea, we're all still here.
So I've known Shenay for 11 years, and I'd like to say that she is the woman most like my sister to me. So the first time I met Shenay was in health class in year 9, and I'm sure you can imagine all the fun that we had in that type of class. Shenay had always lived in Meadowlands back in school, and I lived elsewhere. And there was a bus stop outside school that I was supposed to catch to go home. But instead on the daily, we would walk as far as we could together in the direction to Shenay's house before I really had to get on that bus so that we could muck around together for longer and so that we could walk with all the brown boys that we liked back then. So, when you've been close to someone for this long, you gather a lot of juicy secrets and hilariously embarrassing stories. However, I will spare you from those stories because 1, it would take me days to tell them all, and 2, because I respect Shenay too much to embarrass her on what is supposed to be one of the best days of her life. But if you catch me anywhere else embarrassing stories, fair game. So, Shenay, Shenay and I would always joke around to each other and say, I got to approve of whatever guy you get with first before he can have you. But when I met Welshie for the first time, I could see why Shenay was crazy for him, and I knew I didn't need to worry. Welshie, I can see how happy you make Shenay and how much she loves you, and I can't think of a better man for my best friend. Woo! Shenay, I rewrote this speech a million times and spent hours and days thinking what to write. That's why I only wrote it a few days ago, and no practice. There really aren't words to define the kind of friend you have been. Oh my god.
It's a wedding.
There really aren't words to define the kind of friend you have been to me. There are also no words to describe how happy I am for your Welshie today. Shenay and Welsh, as the years unfold, continue to look back on today and remember what brought you to this moment. No matter what life throws your way, let the love that has bound you together make you strong, and there will be no obstacle you cannot overcome. So let's all raise our glasses. So let's all raise our glasses. Can you guys like to read that? So let's all raise our glasses for the
the new Mr. and Mrs. Congratulations. I love you both. To Shenay and Welshie forever.
Don't fall over the bed.
Before I say anything at all, can I just say how absolutely stunning my daughter-in-law looks tonight? I've been thinking about what to say about David and Shenay, and the one word that comes into my mind is influence. With regard to David, it's have I had any influence at all on his life? Some things I think I have, and others, no way. No influence whatsoever. His love of rock music. David and I both love loud, heavy rock music. I think we might find that out a bit later. We both have the privilege of... David's been brought up listening to the likes of Black Sabbath. A band we both have the privilege of seeing live, albeit at the polar ends of their career. And then there's football. David and I both love football. And although we both like the Oval game, and this is a bit risky here, we both agree that football is the greatest game in the world. From a very, very early age, I used to drag David down to watch Cardiff City every week, regardless of his behaviour, whether it had been good or bad. And even if he'd been really, really good, I still made him come and watch Cardiff City. Then there's his temperament. We'll forget about that, but we'll gloss over that straight away. The things that I know for a fact I've had no influence whatsoever, and that's been his art and skill in the kitchen. A passion that's been honed and influenced by many people, many good people, especially since he's been here in New Zealand. And then it's his bravery. Amos are not noted for their bravery, certainly not me. But David, at a time of his life when he thought was not going in the right direction, took the brave decision to up sticks, follow his mum, and come over to this beautiful country.
Christchurch, yeah!
Although I miss him terribly, it proved to be the greatest decision of his life. Because without that decision, he wouldn't have met Shenay, who has been, is, and I hope will always be, his greatest influence. So thank you, Shenay. Welcome to the family. I ask you to raise your glasses to myself. Sorry, no, not Oggy, Oggy, Oggy. To the Ayatollah.
Alright, do I say those speeches are going to be hard to beat? I was confident until Mike went up.
Yeah, you should be. Yeah.
So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Welshies and Kiwis. For those of you who don't know me by now, I am Nathan, and my drinks are rum and coke. I've been told I won't get away with a few thank yous and quick toast. Apparently, as best man, I'm supposed to sing the groom's praises and talk about his good qualities. Unfortunately, I cannot sing, and I definitely won't lie. I hope everyone's enjoying a very special occasion so far. I think you'll all agree it's been a really emotional day, and even the cake is in tears. I've known David for a long time, in the region of 30 years. We went to primary school and high school together, and I think we possibly even went to nursery. Although we had different friends during high school, we soon ended up reviving our friendship and was inseparable thereafter. And I must say, to be standing here today as David's best man makes me very honoured and proud. I've been thinking of 3 good reasons why David asked me to be his best man, and I've come up with the following. Firstly, he knew the speech would be one that was remembered. Secondly, he didn't want people too much taller than him in the photos. And thirdly, because he travelled back home for my wedding, he knew I'd have to return the favour. I've been best man once before.
Yeah, you're back.
I've been best man once before for my brother's wedding, but when I think about this wedding, David is like a brother to me. So I needed to find some new material for this wedding speech. So I first started where most people will go when they needed some inspiration and fast amount of information, and that's on the internet. I'd only been on there a few minutes and found a brilliant site full of some seriously good stuff. There were videos, hints and tips, it was great. But after about an hour though, I heard my wife pull up on the drive. Speeches instead. As best man, there's certain duties I must obviously carry out. I would like to thank the Maid of Honour Candice and the bridesmaids Courtney, Rebecca and Candice, not only for doing a great job earlier today, but for also helping Shenay this morning, getting her ready, calming her nerves, and I'm sure she'll be thankful of them today every time she needs to go to the loo. I'm sure you all agree how fantastic they all look, but obviously no limelight has been taken from our Shenay. Right. No doubt everyone here today has thought the same 2 things when Shenay walked down the aisle. First of all, how beautiful she looked, and secondly, that David is definitely punching above his weight.
Oh yeah!
I'd also like to thank Rob Hopeed, Nick Hamer and Alex Eric as the ushers. It means a lot today, Shenay, that you're here for this special occasion and everything you've done to help make the day go as smoothly as possible. So thank you, lads. So I do have some messages from people who attend today but want to send their wishes to Dave. This is one from the lads at football. David was useless in every position he played. I do have some serious messages now though. One's from Daniel Lee, who is one of David's old friends, who we've both known since primary school also. David, Shenay, really sorry and gutted I cannot be there. I wish you all the best, and hopefully one day I'll bring my kids and make the trip to see you. Lots of love, Dan and family.
Yeah, good.
I'll find the other one.
Really clear.
Quite.
Daniel's English.
Okay, these are a few which Mike handed me. David and Shenay, all the best for your special day. I wish her a lifetime of love and happiness. I hope the food is yum, and while she is wearing his dancing boots, maybe you can show me some photos someday soon. Lots of love from Kelsey.
Oh, Charles. His name's Tony, Robert. Sorry for
Beulah, Shenay and David. Shame we couldn't make it this weekend to your awesome spot in Russell, but unfortunately this young man had conflicting special occasions. We're sure you will have a great day and be partying into the wee hours with a jug or few at the Duke. We will toast you with a bowl of cava. All the best from Fiji to all Mike, Junior and Michelle. To all Box Mike Junior.
Mike Junior.
Mike Jr.
Mike and Michelle.
Okay, so I've known David for a very long time, and I'd like to share a few stories about him now, which you may not know.
Am I gonna want a divorce?
When David was little, he was actually restricted from drinking cherry aid, as it made him very hyper and was particularly banned at school, as it gave decent effects of alcohol, similar effects of alcohol. David used to have an unhealthy relationship with wrestling, and I'm pretty sure he still does. So much so, he made up his own move called the Hamer submission. This involves grabbing your nose from behind and pushing it to one side until you tapped out. Now, whilst he used to do this, and it was fairly easy to get out of by jabbing him in the side with your fingers, which he absolutely hates. David also once thought it would be a good idea to practice his wrestling moves on a younger friend of my family.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So he decided to pick him up and choke slam him onto my bed, which in turn totally wiped out the side support on my bed, which was no longer sleepable, and my parents weren't happy. When David first passed his driving test, he literally thought he was king of the road. He brought a Ford Fiesta and did it up nicely, the whole shebang, and to be fair, it did look good. Unfortunately, one night when I was staying with David, I thought I heard a noise outside his house and thought someone could be breaking into his car, which wasn't in view from his window. When I woke David to tell him, his response was, "No one's stupid enough to nick my car." Famous last words, and the Ford Fiesta is now gone. Rest in
Fucking good car.
One day back in high school, David got kicked out of class for being disruptive. He wasn't in the best of moods, and as good friends do, they like to wind each other up. So David was holding on to some coins in the corridor at the time, and because I was laughing at him, he motioned he would throw a coin at me. So I of course egged him on, thinking he wouldn't dare. A loud bang against the filing cabinet was what gave it away. So sorry Max, that suspension might have been my fault.
There was only one though.
That narrows it down.
This is one of my favourites. David once came away with us on a lads' holiday. With me and some of our other friends.
Don't tell them.
With being out all night, getting drunk, we usually came back to the hotel worse for wear. We had a safe in the hotel and usually locked it away with our wallets, passports and phones etc. at night before going to sleep. So as I was starting to fall asleep, I said to David, who was messaging on his phone, "Put your phone in the safe and lock it up now." Of course he wouldn't listen and said he would do it in a minute, to which he promised he would.
Now in a minute, bro.
I fell asleep and was next awoken by David informing me the safe was being robbed. With my obvious reply being, "How can it be robbed when it was locked up?" That's right, you fell asleep, didn't lock the safe, and everything was gone. Phones, camera, money, passports. Safe to say I wasn't impressed when I flung my bed across the room. Thinking that the cleaners had possibly robbed her. Luckily for us, it turned out the cleaners had been in our room, opened the door, seen we was asleep, so left us to it. but in the process they didn't close the door properly. Our friends took advantage of this, recorded the whole thing on their phone whilst they were robbing our safe, including just one shoe, and that's obviously typical of David. My last story of David was once when he ran a red light. But a police car seen it happen. So as the police had his lights on and started to turn around in the road, David thought he would be a smart ass and quickly turn off down some roads and down a lane thinking he wouldn't be found. Because his car and his lights were obviously off, I think it's safe to say David absolutely crapped himself as the police started forcefully yanking him out of the car. Anyway, these stories are pretty tame. I do have a lot more. I've known David for so long. And if you want to know more, remember my drinks are rum and coke. So before I end my speech, I'd like to offer some advice to the newlyweds. Always take time to talk to each other at the end of each day. Always be open to each other's suggestions and make decisions together. If and when you do have a fallout, remind yourselves of why you wanted to get married. Always make up with each other before starting a new day. And now I'd like to draw the speech to a close. I'd like you all to raise your glasses and make a toast to Mr. and Mrs. Hamer. There is one small thing. I've got a small present for David and Shenay, mainly for David, but that'll become clear soon.
Copy of his face.
But that is gangster.
What is that? What is that? What is that?
No, it's too good at the moment.
Yeah.
It's all the Liverpool players wishing me.
Thank you.
You won't walk alone, Dave.
First, I just want to thank Shenay for coming. She looks unbelievable. I'm going to be honest, I was packing my pants until she stood next to me, and then life has been great ever since, to be honest. I had 2 jobs to do. Honestly, 2. I went to my car at 7 o'clock this morning and I forgot my shoes. So I want to thank Shenay as well for making everything in here possible. Really organised to the max, it's unbelievable. I really want to thank Mike and Lynn, my mum and Dave as well, for just, helping a hand. Everybody who's flown a long way, thank you. Christchurch is miles away, by the way. I really want to thank Karen and Bruce as well for their house, which is not a batch. It's not a batch. And they've got jet skis for Sunday. So, I want to thank the bridesmaids as well, who are looking great. But 4 middle-aged fat men and a stoner is better. And just have a good time, get drunk. Let's finish this our first dance. Have a great night, and that's it. That's all I've got to say.